We got the Kitty City going on this day 3, people. Who's excited? Sustained excitement. That's what we want. How you doing? Glad you're here. We're on day 3. Day 3 of rizzle drip. What the hell's rizzle drip? Rizzle means seduction. Drip means clothing. I got a hair in my face. Get out of there, hair. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, I got my collars going today. I'm all excited, all pumped up. We're going to get some action going on. I got my trusty Morpho book right here. Clothing folds and creases in case I get in any trouble. And which I won't, because I already done been studying this little fella right here. All the good stuff, all the little folds and whatnot. And one of the things I was wanting to talk about today was a little bit of the ideation or the concept of a collection look. And so we'll talk about that in a minute. But how you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing great today. Hope you're excited. What are you excited about? Have you asked yourself that? What are you excited about? Now, we had a really good conversation last night on the Bruvs Unite. That was a lot of fun. We had James and John on, and we talked about forks in the road, life-changing events, things that happened to you or choices that you made that changed your life forever. Now, that's something I can get excited about, and I think about that all the time, you know. It's very fun to hear. We had a conversation with Matthias Adelson the other day, too, and we covered some of the same things. He made a life-changing leap of faith to try to become a freelance illustrator, and you know what? It paid off. And his wife even supported him. She didn't leave him. Can you believe that? Now, that's funny about that, because we'll be talking a little bit about women leaving you on Dumped Cooking coming up on Sunday. That bitch, she left me. That's pretty funny, isn't it? But we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. Might try to have a special guest on. Might not. We'll see how that goes. You know, when you get dumped, you get a little frazzled. You know what I'm saying? You get a little upset about it. You kind of get beside yourself when you try to relate socially to the other people. So we'll try to do that. But, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, you know, every man really has to go through that one time to kind of like experience it and see what it feels like in order to get your heart broken. You get stiffed, you get dumped, you get, you know, rattled pretty good, get your cage rattled, and you kind of learn a little bit about human nature and female nature, and that's normal. Okay, I think a lot of men go throughout their life, and if they have a good relationship with their mom, they just go ahead and take that relationship and think that they can apply that to the girls that they date later on in life, but that's not the case. You only have one mom. Even though she's a female, she's a woman, she's your mom. She don't count. She's invested in you because of your DNA. You know, she looks at you like an extension of herself. You know, we already know women are a little bit solipsistic, meaning they're a little bit self-centered, and they should be. They should be, because what's greater than women? There ain't nothing greater than women, right? And when your mother's self-centered, then she identifies you as part of herself, and so she looks out for you as if she would look out for herself. That's the way women were designed, people. We can't hate a race car for being fast. We want it to be fast and sleek and sexy and all that good stuff, but we don't want that race car to turn into no dump trunk. You know what I'm saying? But they eat a little bit too much, and they get a little dumpy. But that's neither here nor there, because after a while, it really doesn't matter if a woman does her job and acts feminine and gives you a couple kids and stuff like that. How can you not love her? You know what I'm saying? How can you not love her, no matter what she looks like? She could be looking like one of them pirate buddies you got down at the old pubs. You know, she got a couple of them whiskers hanging off. Maybe one tooth fell out. She's looking at you with a cock eye. She's a little bit heavy, but she's happy to make you something in the morning or the evening, or happy to see you when you come home. And you just can't hurt a spirit like that. That's what's so important. That's what men and women are supposed to be like. You know what I'm saying? Some hot, foxy mama trots in. The guy goes, you know, I'd fuck you, but I just don't want to ruin what I got going at home. I got a shepherd's pie back at home, and then, you know, she's making a blackberry pie on top of that. So can you cook like that? The bitch is like, no, but you gotta buy me some earrings and diamonds. You're like, oh, I gotta go home. Sorry, honey. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is. That's the way it is. But anyway, where'd I go? I digress. Here we are. So how are you doing? What are you excited about? I'm excited about what we're going to talk about today. Some fun stuff. I've been thinking about how we're going to unroll this fashion and all this kind of stuff. There's so much to talk about. There's so many different diverse avenues over this last century of fashion. You know, all the way back to the 20s, even the 19-aughts. That's how they say it, the 00-aughts. Or not, they say not. Over in England, they say not. Speaking of England, we're going to have ourselves a little chat about England tonight, okay? We're going to have 2 English guys on, maybe a third, and we're going to talk about the state of England. So pop by around 3 o'clock Pacific to watch that. That'll be a lot of fun, okay? All the King's Men is what I called it. Now, you know, I try to come up with these catchy titles, people. I try to get you interested and say, oh, what's he talking about, All the King's Men? You know, that reminds me of some kind of a nursery rhyme. That's damn right. I'm trying to tap into that old foundation, the social engineering of that nursery rhyme to get you to be like, that feels familiar. I think I want to watch that. So that'll be a lot of fun, okay? But, you know, you got to be excited about it. And we're talking about the history of fashion, you know. We look at fashion right now, and it's majorly disposable. But all entertainment, all forms of artistic expression have been pushed in that genre, in that direction, whether on purpose, I don't know, or maybe it's just the evolution of capitalism and all this kind of stuff, and it pushes you to be a consumer. You know, why companies can't be happy with the profits they made last year and the year before that, I don't know. They always got to push it. Get some kind of angle, you know what I mean? Like they're sitting there selling you your Coca-Cola, and they say, what if we put real cocaine in it? You know, that's how it came about first, you know. And then they say, fuck the cocaine. Look, what's that one drug everybody's dying of? Fentanyl. Yeah, let's put that in it, you know. And they just don't care. And then they end up eroding the environment that they exist within, you know. And they get rid of it. It happens in music right now. It's happening in movies right now. It's happening across the board. Every time they think, people think that they can replace quality, replace craftsmanship, replace artistry, replace the amount of time and experience an artist puts into something. You can't replace that. You can't. You might think you can and get a couple shortcuts, and you might make it kind of look like what it's supposed to look like, and you might fool the market, you know, for a year or two, but then it all comes apart. Then it all comes apart because it's not based upon what everything in art and entertainment is really based upon, which is the human experience, the empathetic human experience. It's not based on a narcissistic, it's not based on a psychopathic, it's not based on any kind of experience other than the empathetic human experience. Why do I say empathetic? Because obviously, if I'm going to communicate a message within myself, I have to understand that, put myself in your shoes, and see how it's going to affect you, and so on and so forth, so that it strikes a nerve with the human psyche in general. That's the whole point of artistry, people. That's the whole point. Whether it's fine art, whether it's music, whether it's fashion, that's what we're trying to do. And so what we're going to do, we're still in the mechanics phase right now. What we're going to do is we're going to try to look at you know, the last century of the artistic endeavor in fashion, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to try to mimic it with our markers. We got a little markers, they're Sharpies right here, you know, the poor man's marker. That's why I like it. It's a 99-cent poor man's marker right here, okay? We also got the rich man's pen right here, but I got to clean this one out. I got to restore it. This is my Pilot Heritage 92, so I'm excited about that. And then we got our bargain man's markers, which are the Oh-hoo-hoo. Oh-hoo-hoo. Love these things. These things are great, man. I used to buy markers back in the day, and it was only the Prismacolor markers, okay? And they were so damn expensive. It was like 50 bucks for 24 of them. It was insane, man. It was insane. And so, like, every marker was like $3 or $4, however that works out. Whereas these markers, I think all of these right here were 40 bucks or something like that. Look at all those markers I got, man. That's crazy. So I'm really happy about that. Of course, if you want any of those links, they're down below. Or if you want to go find it out yourself, go for it. Go find it yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, you know, I use the sketchbook that I swear by. There's 2 of them that I really love. There's the Canson Mixed Media sketchbook. And then the B paper sketchbook. I love both of those, and I just so happen to have myself a nice big stack of these fresh Canson mixed media, 11 by 14. It's just the right size. Not too big, not too small. It's like Goldilocks in the sketchbooks, you know. Oh, this was too small. Oh, this was shaped funny. Oh, this was too big. It doesn't fit on my desk. I can't take it with me. But this 11 by 14, boy, I tell you what, it's just the right size. They settle in all nice and good. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to go over this concept called ideation. Okay, and you're going to be like, Ray, I don't know what the hell that means, ideation. Well, ideation just means it's a collection of ideas that evolve one from the other. Okay, so say, for example, you start out with the dress. You know, maybe you get an idea from somebody and you're a fashion designer and you're looking at this dress and you draw the dress and then you say, what if I tweak this? You draw it again. What if I tweak this? You draw it again. What if I change this? You draw it again. What if I completely change this? You draw it again. So all of those are ideations of the original idea. And so that's kind of how you brainstorm visually, you know, because you could have something in your mind and you could be like, okay, that feels good. But then when you put it on paper, then you really can feel what it feels like. The other thing I wanted to talk about is that when we are doing ideation or we're doing these several figures, we want to talk about this concept called abstraction, okay? Abstraction, meaning it's a simplified or generalized form, right? I don't want to draw like the perfect person and when I'm just trying to get my idea down on paper, right? And that's not what fashion's all about either. You want to do that, you do the illustration, okay? The illustration component or the fine art component, right? You spend 40 hours on one figure and you just like, okay, there it is, put a frame on it, right? But when you're talking fashion, you're doing like maybe 15, 20, 30 little sketches, and so you kind of want to come up with abstract marks on the page that resemble what the figure looks like, what the hand looks like. You know, the hand's bent. This part's a triangle. It's bent. It's like a triangle. See the triangle right there? Or you want to do the folds. It's just a little sweep of the hand with a little bit of the wisp of the line to mimic these folds, kind of thing. And so that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. And I've already went ahead and I've laid out in pencil some drawings that we're going to ink and then we're going to color. And the other thing that I wanted to mention was that, you know, we've done 30-day challenges in the past and we've talked about different things about the figure, about the construction, about all this. This is another way to practice those things, but in a different form, right? So maybe you get tired of just drawing the same head over and over and over again, or maybe you get tired of drawing the same body over and over and over again. But it could be that you could be really excited about drawing different outfits and different dynamic poses, you know, because in all of these fashion magazines, they all do those big time dynamic poses, you know, they Vogue and all that kind of stuff, Harper's Bazaar, you know, all these old great magazines that you can find online. And that's kind of what I did. I found some online and just kind of jotted down some ideas right here on the page, and then kind of abstract them and have a good time doing that. That's what's important. The important thing is that you're having a good time. If you're not having a good time, switch it up, okay? If you're not having a good time, you got to ask yourself, am I excited? One, right? Am I excited? Does this excite me? Maybe it doesn't. But go through it. See, give yourself a chance to dip your toe in the water a little bit and see, you know, do I like this? Do I not like this? Don't allow a preconceived idea or some sort of you know, some sort of preconceived notion from your friends or how you grew up to say, oh, you ain't gonna do that. Don't use markers. Markers ain't real artwork. That's not fine art. You know, it's very interesting. We were talking to Matthias Adelson the other day, and he was saying how, people don't look at his artwork like it's fine art because it's on a sketchbook. It's not on a canvas. And, you know, who made all those rules, right? Who made all those rules? Well, I'll tell you who made the rules are the gallery owners that are trying to sell the fine art, trying to position it in a position of luxury to get more money from it, okay? So throw all that shit away, okay? And say, oh, I don't know about that. I didn't know straight men drew dresses. You know, that's another misnomer, right? Yeah, straight men draw dresses. Of course they do. You know, sure, gay men do it. Sure, women do it. But straight men do it too, okay? I like to look at a beautiful woman in a dress. I like those mini skirts. I like those cocktail dresses. I like a nice evening gown on a woman. You know, there's things about a dress that I've seen these women wear these different evening gowns, and I'm like, why'd you pick that one? It flatters all the wrong areas. You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to show people you're fat? I don't understand. What are we doing here? You know? Or, you know, some of them women, they got them big ass boobs and they just have them pour out. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'm all pro boob, but is it really right for an evening gown? I don't know, you know. Or, you know, a woman has a tight ass mini skirt on and she got one roll right here, next roll, next roll. And you're like, babe, I don't think that that was the right selection for you, hon. Just because your girlfriend's got it, you should have went with something else. You know, some baby doll dress or something different. Maybe, you know, to help, you know, go with your body a little bit better, you know. And then there becomes a science to that, right? There becomes a science to matching the right fashion to the right body type with the right era, with the right style, okay? And then, of course, we could talk about styling because apart from fashion, there is a whole nother industry or genre of styling, you know, to mix the right earrings, the right accessories, the right, you know, fur, the right whatever, the right hat, the right makeup, whatever it is, along with the look to really make it dynamic. And to me, that's a form of artistry. You know, it's one of them things that, hey, you could be a great mechanic, you're an artist. You could be a great bread maker, you're an artist. You could be a great stylist, that's an art. You know, people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to have the stylist that knocks everybody's socks off. I don't know if you guys remember when Jennifer Lopez, back in the day, she had that green dress that had that slit running down the front and just came together right above her belly button or whatever, and then the slit going out. And she walked up there and everybody's like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. That's insane. Well, that was one of them showstopper kind of situations. And there have been, you know, I'd say every 1 or 2 years throughout history where majority women have showed up with showstopper fashion, okay? And really, this is my own personal philosophy. Don't mean it's right, don't mean it's wrong. But in my opinion, the woman should be the showstopper, right? She's the flamingo out there doing her thing, and the men should dress in more of a rugged, classic type of fashion that they go with traditional types of materials, you know, leathers or tweed or silk suits or whatever it is, and just look really classic and present a pedestal of fashion, a pedestal look that the woman can then jump out from. Say for example, you're going on a date, you know, you're going to an evening, you know, a ball, an evening gala, however you say it. Your woman's all excited, you know. Maybe you just joined a huge law firm or something like that, or maybe you're going to a Hollywood thing or music. I don't know, but you're going to a huge gala, right? It's a big deal. Maybe it's the King's Gala in England. I don't know. Well, you're going to go. You should allow her to wear this crazy evening ball gown, maybe very classic, maybe it's champagne, maybe it has some sort of feathers, maybe it's all blah blah blah, right? Well, don't you then go get a dumbass jacket that's all sequined and embroidered out so you guys clash like crazy. Don't do that. Instead, get a nice compliment of a classic suit that is striking in a classic way that elevates the entire look by you're basically the frame for her as the artwork. And that's kind of how I think men should dress. Personally, I don't think that men should be wearing all these crazy, you know, peacock stuff, you know, unless they're, you know, of a different persuasion or whatever. That's fine. They want to go out and do that. But from a masculine point of view, I think it should be classic. I think it should be elegant, and I think it should be, like I said, a pedestal to allow the woman to express her fashion, right? Because that's what it's really about. Women go out and they love to garner all that attention, and they, oh, look what I got. I put this look together myself, even though they didn't. They had their, you know, stylist friend put it together for them. Then everybody comes up to them, oh my God, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? You know, Joan Rivers or whatever. And shout out to Joan. We love Joan Rivers. And That's the way it should be. The thing that I hate seeing is when all these women run up to the man. Oh my God, what are you wearing? What? And the guy's like, ah, I'm wearing this this blah 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 watch by the da 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 da. And I'm like, man, that motherfucker. And he should just be like, I'm wearing a suit, bitch. That's how we roll, you know? That's what he should be. What you think I'm wearing? I'm wearing a suit, ho. Talk to my woman. Don't talk to me. You know what I mean? That's the way a guy should be, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys remember, but there was that little ruckus about, who was it? There was this lady, she was a famous singer or something, and she brought her blue collar man to the fashion thing, and he was just wearing a suit that was denim. You know, and he was wearing work boots. And everybody flipped their lid about that. Thought that was incredible. See what I mean? A man just can be understated. Just he's out there. Bitch, I got my flask of tequila and I'm ready to go. I got my cigs. Hey, let's do this, okay? I got you. We're going to go up there. All right, you go do your thing, boo-boo. You go do your twirly shit. I'm going to hang over here with the guys, and we're going to drink shots and talk fucking shit, you know? That's the way it should be, in my opinion. But it's transforming. It's transforming. But anyway, I went off on another little soliloquy right there. But we're going to pull it back in. We're going to pull it back in, people. And we're going to jump down here to camera 1. We're going to talk, okay? I mean, camera 2. Camera 2. We're good. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I got my little Morpho book right here. I'm excited about that. Now, something else I'm excited. I got this gold ink right here. I'm about to break that out sometime soon. So I'm excited. Look at that. It's all metallic and stuff. Look how exciting that is. That's going to be a lot of fun to use, okay? Little metallic. I got this from an artist I know in Japan. And he said, Ray, you got to be using this gold ink, son. And I said, all right, son, let's do this, son. So I got this gold ink, and we're gonna give that a go here pretty soon. Of course, I got a little bit of a silver Sharpie right here. It's pretty fun. I got the Big Daddy over here, and then I got the hoo-hoo markers. Okay, here's what they look like. Little hoo-hoo markers. There we go. Those are a lot of fun. Doesn't that just get you excited? Look at that on screen right there. That just says there's a lot of potential right there in that bag to fall out all over this paper and make things happen. Make it a little sparkle, okay? So let me go ahead and take a little drink right here. Now what I did is I already went through here because I don't want to keep y'all from learning. I have to because we got shit to do, people. I got women to meet. I got stuff to do. I got, you know, blowjobs to be had. Come on now. We got stuff to happen, all right? So I went ahead and got my sketchbook and I laid a couple lines through it like that, as you can see, to keep everything in order. And then I went down. I went to the Harper's Bazaar. That's what I got right here, a little Harper's Bazaar. Some of their classic magazines, and I looked a couple of them up, and I got a couple looks out of there, and I threw them down on here. Okay, so we got an evening dress right here, cocktail dress, and she's smoking. It always looks better when they're smoking, right? I used some abstraction for the wrinkles or the folds right there. I got some abstractions down here for the folds, and then I abstracted these shapes. She's wearing gloves. Okay, so there's that triangle that I was talking about for the hand. And it kind of goes up into her body. She's got a high line on her neckline right there, and then bare shoulders, and then she's got a nice up hairdo. And of course, we got the cigarette holder over here. We got a woman over here in I almost said suit skirt. Skirt suit. I was putting those two words together, okay? And she's out there, she got her hat on, she got her tweed jacket with her skirt and her blouse, and she's got her hand up. And she looks a little bit like a matador to me, so that's kind of the edge I gave her. Then we got a woman in a hat, and she's got an A-line kind of baby doll dress going on right here. She's got heels on and all that kind of stuff, so she's having a good time. She's got a little bit of boobage going on, popping out the top. We will check that out. And she's got I got some abstraction down here for the ruffles underneath the dress that's pushing it up a little bit like a, you know, like ballerina kind of thing. We got a cocktail dress right here. We got a woman looking the other direction. She's wearing boots. We got a high slit coming up on the hip right there. Be a little sexy woo-woo. Then we got a traditional neckline. No big deal. You're having a good time right there. Then we got a woman that's out here on her, I don't know what she's doing. She's on her Sunday best or going shopping. Who knows? She just got a little a short skirt on with the belt. And then she has her little like a hat, halo hat kind of thing going on. It's really just kind of like one of those Stetsons or whatever. And she's got her fun little shoes and she's going somewhere. She looks like she's having a good time already. Then we got another woman. She's standing in a very powerful position, pose, and she's got kind of an evening gown on with a higher neckline with a whole bunch of ruffles. The slit comes up to the middle of the skirt. Then what we got over here is we have our boy. He's a designer. Maybe he's having a good time. Maybe that's Karl Lagerfeld. He's got his glasses on. Maybe he's got some gloves on. We'll see as we go. Okay. So I'm going to take the Big Daddy. I'm going to get I got the Big Daddy Sharpie, I got the medium, I got the small, and then I got the fine. Okay, so we're going to go on with the fine first. We're going to knock some of this out, and then we're going to see what we see. Okay, people, here, let me go ahead and start to move this around. And I'm probably going to do this in 3 passes. Okay, that's what I'm estimating. The first pass, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put in all the fine detail work. Then we're going to come back with the Big Daddy Sharpie. We're going to knock out the big blacks. And then finally, we're going to come in with the oh-hoo-hoo markers. That's what I like to call them. The Honolulu kind. I like the Honolulu series. Okay, let me show you what that means, all right? Real quick. I like the Honolulu series. See, it says oh-hoo-hoo Honolulu series. Okay, Ray, what's the Honolulu? Besides it being Hawaii, which I love, right? I love Hawaii. We already talked about this, people. The Honolulu marker has 2 edges to it, okay? It has the chiseled edge, which I very much love, you know, for big abstract spaces. And then it has the fine marker tip for blending and fine points, fine areas, which I also love. This is I predominantly use when we're when we're dealing with skin tones or flesh tones or little tiny areas like that. And I love to use the big chiseled area, the chiseled marker for clothing and big spaces, because I love that marker feel. I love that texture, okay? I love the feel. I don't want everything to feel all mushed together, you know, like it's just some big mush ball or whatever. I hate that. So I'm going to fly through this real quick. We're at 25 minutes. We're doing great on time. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to abstract some of this. I'm going to adjust. You're going to watch me adjust some things as we go, okay, because some things do need to be adjusted. You know, I'm going to maybe add some Barney Rubble, or what was her name? Peggy Rubble type of pearls right there. And I'm just going to keep everything as abstract as possible, okay? And we're going to let the markers kind of do their job. And see, we're just going to go like that. See how I did that? That was just a nice little abstraction. Now you can add, there's a couple other things in there. You can have it kind of go like that to kind of emulate. All right, then we're going to have some of this, and then we're going to go boop, boop. Okay, and there you go. See, how long did that take? Maybe 30 seconds, and that's kind of what you want, right? Now, oh, I'm still drawing, so technically it's going to take a little bit longer than 30 seconds, right? Then we're going to go ahead and pay special attention to her cigarette holder. Woo, cigarette, yay, that's fun. Everybody looks better when they're smoking a cigarette. Ain't that the truth? Okay. All right, and there we go. There's our first little gal right there. You can see that right there, and that was abstracted, and we wanted it to go fast, you know. You can always go back and add more detail if you want, but for the sake of what we're doing here, time is of the essence, and I always pretend like I'm on a job, right? That's what I love to do that. I'm like, I'm on a job right now. I got my fashion director, my fashion, you know, coordinator, and they come to me and they say, Ray. I say, yo, what's up, dog? And they say, hey, we need you to knock this out ASAP. We're in a bind. Can you do it? And I say, oh, no problem. Let me go ahead and get that done for you. Okay. And so that's what I like to imagine that happens. All right. So we're going to go ahead and have her hand right there. Now, some of this might get a little bit out of proportion just because we're going pretty quick, but don't worry about it. We can always come back and readjust it with the Big Daddy. Okay. We're going to go ahead and add our hat. Don't worry about it not being a complete circle. You can always adjust it as we go. Okay? Adjust it as we go. There's the other side of her jacket. Got her shoulder. Got some nice little action going right there. I don't know what the hell just happened with that hand. That hand just got all nasty, didn't it? We might have to rescue that with the Big Daddy or put something. Maybe she's got a glass or something in her hand. I don't know. But that hand, see, it happens, people. That hand just got nasty, right? I put it down in ink, tried to guess what kind of shape it was going to be, and I came up wrong. So no problem. We'll rescue it, though. We'll rescue it. The important thing is not to panic, okay? So then we got a little bit of this right here. We got a little bit of this right here. And we got our hips. Okay, we got our leg coming like so. Down to the high heel. Nice shape for the high heel. And we got the back one right here. And you know, the other trick too is women love their feet small. So remember that when you're drawing a woman, make her feet small. They love that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So that way we got our second one already knocked out right there. No problem, no problem. Okay. Then we got our third one in this baby doll dress. Let's go ahead and do it even more stylized. Let's go ahead and take care of that waistline that's going to come up right around the boobs. I'm going to just hint barely at the boobs, because you know what, the fashion people, they don't like boobs for some reason. They don't like it. But us non-fashion people fucking love boobs. All right. So then we got the hands right here. All right. We love ourselves some boobs, don't we? Now, I don't know what happened there. That was just extra lines that messed up. No big deal. But we're going pretty quick, and I'm doing a funny angle when I'm drawing. So don't worry about it, okay? There's another hand. Maybe she's got them really long nails. I don't know. She got kind of a crow hand right there. She's like, you know what I mean? Up to the neck. And we're going to do a stylized type head right here. We're going to pull this. Maybe she has a huge hat on. I don't know. We're going to make the neck longer and then put some hair behind it right there. Now, for the fun part, we're going to go right here. And using more than one line kind of helps make it feel softer. Now we're going to do the rhythm of the folds. Like so. And then she's got a whole bunch of, you know, like chiffon or whatever the hell that shit is underneath it. Okay. Kind of pushing it up. Alright. We can always come back in and harden up these edges later with the bigger. Now remember, women love it when their feet are tiny. Okay, so if you're not drawing a heel, keep the feet tiny. Alright? Keep the feet tiny. I made that mistake in giving them big bird feet, and they're like, oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? That don't look like fun. Okay, so then you're like, oh, my bad, dog. We're going to go ahead and put in some of this Harper's Bazaar. All right, now we're moving on to the next lady. Now we're doing pretty good on time. This has been maybe 5 or 6 minutes so far. She has more of a statuesque. Now I really thought of that John Singer Sargent's Madam X when I was drawing this. If you don't know who that is, I'll try to put it up or something like that, or I'll try to remember, or you go Google that shit, okay? Let me put it right there so you can see it. All right, so she's got her profile. She's looking back here. She's got her like so. She's got her neck going like that. She's like looking over to the side. She's being really dramatic. We'll give her maybe a nice little necklace right there. She has sleeves on her. High neck, traditional. More sleeves. The boobage comes out. Little folds for the boobage. Little belt-ish action comes out with the hip. The front of the hip. Here's some of that more of that abstract fold stuff that I was telling you about. Okay. And there's her other side of her dress. Here's the other side of that dress. And maybe she has cowboy boots on, or some form of boot, right? There we go. And she's got her other boot back there. Okay. Got her leg coming out. She's looking all fierce. Maybe she's looking at some guy that she wants to attract to herself. Okay. Maybe that's what's going on there. She's looking back. All right, she got a really thin neck, but that's okay because this is fashion. We can make anything happen, right? Then she's got her, of course, she's got her little smoky going on right here. That traditional classic 20s, 30s. Got a cigarette holder, got a smoky. Got that wafting of the smoke going up. You got the other part of her arm and her hand. Then we got some of this darkness back here because, of course, it's in shadow, right? We're going to go ahead and put that in right now. So there we go on our fourth one. Okay, then we have our happy shopper right here. Maybe she shopped. Maybe we'll give her a little bit of an anime kind of Like she's all happy. See, there's our big smile. She's got these nice big bangs right here. She's got a little bit of her hair hanging on the back. You got the hat going right like that. A little bit more hair in the back. Classic hairstyle. Got her hat right there. There we go. We're going to shift this over just a bit. We're going to give her some sleeves. Her arms coming down. We got our purse right here. Like so. Her other arm, she doesn't have a care in the world because Big Daddy's paying for everything, okay? So she's all happy. She's like, yeah, Big Daddy. Big Daddy's paying for it all right? She got a nice little belt. Her hip, her ass coming out right there. And it does help to make a little bit of sounds when you're doing this. You got the boobage going on. You got a V-neck kind of thing with the other sleeve, V-neck neckline. We got her hand right here, her other hand. There we go. She's walking and talking. Now we're going to nail down her legs. Now this is where I'm having a lot of fun because I'm really stylizing this. Like, look, right? This is a little bit like some retro cartoons, and she's kind of like just cruising, like having a good time. I'm having fun. She's like la la la. Now, do you guys know that in Nordstrom's they have like a very nice restaurant, or at least they used to? So one of the things that women love shopping for is because they get to go eat. They get to go get cocktails. You're supposed to do all that stuff when you go shopping. You're not just supposed to run in and rifle through the fucking rack and then get all angry and get all like hungry and hangry and then run home and then yell at your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever. You're supposed to make a whole day of it. You know, you get up, you go do a brunch, then you go shopping, you get a cocktail at the bar, and then she finds what she wants. You're like, oh, that looks fantastic. She, you know, buys it. Then you guys go have a nice lunch and you guys go home. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, okay, people? All right, now we got this lady over here. She's got like, we're just gonna start with a traditional neckline, a scoop neckline. We're gonna go ahead and give her a swoop hairstyle like that. She got a little bit coming down the back, There's her nose, her mouth, her eye. There she's got a couple flyaways. I don't know. I changed that because she looked a little masculine right there, a little masculine. And then we're going to add a sleeve right here, add a sleeve, have the folds come down. It's a twist type of dress, okay? It's a twist type of dress. Her sleeve right there. Some arm. Hand. Going her hip to her ass. Coming down. There we go with these. Got the seam running down the middle. Got her hip right here. This is kind of what we do. Just have fun doing it, right? And you learn to mimic how the folds happen and how to abstract them, okay? Now, maybe this side has a really big sleeve. I don't know. Well, the thing is that this dress was supposed to have sleeves, and I fucked it up. I gave her a little short sleeve right there. But that's okay. Maybe one side has the sleeves, right? Maybe she's being really dramatic with the sleeves. So we got her heels right here. Don't draw them too big now. I've made that mistake, like I said before. They end up looking like they water skiing. And no matter what you show to a woman, she's gonna be like, "Why are the feet so big? Why are the feet so big?" And then you got the dress in the back right there. So there we go. So she's out there. She's like, I don't know what she's doing. We'll give her an eyebrow because women without eyebrows look weird. We'll give her an eyebrow too. She's all happy. Okay. So then over here we got our guy. Okay. So let's go ahead and knock him out real quick. Maybe he's like a Karl Lagerfeld. We're gonna give him some huge ass sunglasses. Okay. Because that's what we can do. Okay. He's like, what's up, everybody? I'm weird, but I make good clothes. That's what they say. There's his mouth. Ear. Give him some crazy hair. He's wearing an oversized coat with a big lapel. He's got those big ass, I don't know what you call them, but on your shirt, you know, the up here on the neck. We got the classic Italian. He got one of them short little ties. Maybe he's got a stripe in it or something. He's got his belt right here. We got the jacket coming up. Maybe it has a pocket. Jacket, maybe it has a pocket. Then we got his shoulders coming out right here. I don't know what his hand is doing. It's doing something right there. I don't know what though. We're not going to worry about it too much. Then his other hand right here. You know, sometimes when you're a little bit more messy, it's even better, to be honest with you, because like I said, it allows the viewer to participate and add their imagination into what we're doing here. Okay, so there we go. We got our boy right there, the designer. He's all looking all good and whatnot. Okay, now we're going to come back in here with Big Daddy and medium, and we're going to block out some of these blacks, okay, to make this fun. All right, now I got to think, do I want the back to be blocked or the front? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do her back and the other one's front. Okay. Can you guys see that okay? Too high? Okay, sorry. I'm hiding all the secrets. This is a secret pen. It's not really a Sharpie. It's really a $3,000 pen. You just don't know it. And that's how we roll. Okay, that's how we roll. Okay, I'm just using the medium one to try to protect the little parts that are important. Okay, and remember, use a pen that's a little bit bigger than you think you should use always. Okay, and we can leave it like that, or I could even take the Big Daddy, come in here, and the Big Daddy is going to give us a different type of feel. You know, it's going to be really nice. Okay. So we're going to leave that open for a little bit. Maybe come back in here and darken in some of these spots. Like that. Add some line weight to our drawing. Maybe give her black hair to kind of mimic the black. Right. And there we go. There's our first one. Okay, we got that one's prepped, ready to go for the color. Okay. Boom. Move on to the second. Just add a little bit of harsh. Now what we'll do is we'll come down here and we'll make the bottom. Okay, the point of focus. This way. High contrast, high color difference yield a point of focus. Okay, people. So keep that in mind. You want the viewer's eye to go somewhere. Make it high contrast, or high saturated colors, or you know, dynamic line changes, line weights even. So we're going to go ahead and do this right here. Okay. Might even add a little bit of a darkness right here. All right, bam, we got our second one done. Can you guys see that? Oh, was that too hot? That might have been. Sorry, I got all wrapped up in it. Now I like this idea of joining the two like we did up here. I like that idea. That's going to make it fun. It kind of puts these two in a conversation. So we're going to do that again. Okay. All right, you guys can see that okay. And remember, use the materials. The materials are going to tell you, the medium, what it wants to do. Like, look, I'm using this medium pen right now, and it's a little bit out of ink, but it still looks good because now it's giving me this faded look. So we're going to run with that for a minute. Okay, we're going to use that. It's going to give us, it's going to, like, remember how I said that watercolor works along with you? Well, your materials, the physical materials, will help give an identity to your artwork. Okay? And that's what you want, because you're going to see that when I use the physical media of the markers here in a second, that's going to make for a really nice kind of texture. It's going to look really good. Okay. Let's go ahead and protect this. This is important right here. A little delicate, so people know that it's a purse. They know that it's right there like that. Okay, so we're going to leave that like that. All right. Now we got this one lady over here. Go ahead and get Big Daddy and have some fun with it. So we could join these two. That might be fun. Or we could keep her by herself. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll keep her by herself. We haven't done that yet. Well, we kind of did. And we're just going to use Big Daddy. I'm using the thinner part of the chisel. Now see, this is why I like chisel. You can do stuff like this. Like, how cool does that look, right? And then we'll use a fat part and stuff like that. And it makes some cool, like, ribbon-like looks, right? And if you accidentally mark over something you didn't want to, don't worry about it. Look how nice and black that Big Daddy is. It's so nice and black. The Big Daddy marker. And then look how it feathers right there when you kind of pick up from it. Love that. It's fantastic. Okay, fantastic. All right. Now, go in here to our designer. All right. Give him some dark behind his head. Come right up on 45 minutes. I'm hurrying, James. I know you're going to be barking at me. I know. Okay. Now again, remember, these are ideas. These are ideas in a sketchbook. This is what's going to captivate people's imagination. The goal here is to get your ideas down, to work on your ideas. You can change your goals as you want. If you want to make your goals more focused on, figure work or abstraction, each different exercise, you can change your goals. If you actually really want to work on your fashion design, you don't have to focus on the figure so much, Just focus on one thing. Don't get held down because you're like, oh, that figure is not in proportion. That's when the critical eye jumps out and tries to tell you that you're not going to be successful. Don't listen to it, okay? Don't listen to it. There we go. All right. So that's what we got right here, okay? So there's our first two passes, okay? Now on our third pass, we have the opportunity to refine and to color, okay, people? So I'm going to go ahead and grab my oh-hoo-hoo markers, all right? Now, you can go and do this from the images that you're looking at, or you can completely not look at the images and just try to have your own ideas about color, about whatever, and about the materials. Now, I'm going to erase the pencils because I don't want them to smudge and make the colors dirty. That's why I'm doing this. Otherwise, you don't have to do this if you're not into that. But one of the things that I was going to say is that we will just talk about flats right now. We'll later on in a different time, or a different class, or whatever we call these things, a different get together, hangout. This is an art hangout, bros. We'll talk about trying to mimic the actual look of the material. Okay, we'll talk about that. But I'm not going to exactly focus on that today. What I'm going to focus on is the color palette. And if you don't know much about color palette, then just go ahead and get the images from Chanel or from Balenciaga or Harper's Bazaar and just copy what you see, because guess what? They already did the hard work for you. They already figured out the color palette for you. Okay? Now, if you're good at the color palette, then you can just go ahead and take a couple of ideas from them and go on and create your own thing if you want. Okay? Create your own thing. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm just going to get some of this blue. Oh, I can't see that. Pull this down. Some of this blue right here. Just like this. And you can be messy. Just be messy with it, okay? Now see how that kind of smeared a little bit? Now let's get rid of that smear off our marker, okay? Right. And maybe she got a little bit of a gray in there too, so maybe it's like one of those chiffon, not chiffon, but one of those reflective type of materials. Like so. And then maybe she has, I don't know, some kind of hot pink at the top, right? Maybe she has that same thing in her hair, okay? And there we go. That's about it. Now, if you wanted to keep going with it, you could keep going as far as not this one, but maybe the darker one. Maybe something like, you know, something darker to kind of give a little edge to that. Okay. And then maybe a little bit of a darker blue. There we go. Okay. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to come back with my medium. I really want to pop out this smoke because I like that smoke. Okay. All right. So that looks good like that. Let me just go ahead and do something a little bit better with it. Okay. We'll do some. All right. Like that. Okay. Now we'll look at this one, and maybe she's in like a nice warm, you know, nice warm tangerine kind of thing going on here. Okay, maybe her hat is tangerine as well. Okay. And then what we'll talk about is what's her blouse look like. Maybe it's a soft green. All right, she's got that right there. Okay, maybe she has this right here, this right here. All right. And then we'll talk, maybe she has a nice softer blue for her heels. Okay. There we go. Now she's looking nice. Now what we can do is we can perhaps put like a green in the background. Try to remember to protect that smoke. And there you go. Now, if you wanted to, of course, you could go and you could continue on with her flesh tones and with the cocktail and the glass and all that kind of stuff too. But that's not really something I'm interested in doing right now, so I'm not going to do it. How about that? We're going to jump on over to the baby doll dress. Maybe it's a nice light kind of gray, warm gray. That's what this is right here. Okay, that's kind of fun. Then maybe she has a bright pink, you know, peeping out the bottom. That's kind of fun. Okay. Maybe she has like a baby doll blue for her hat. Okay, kind of fun. And then maybe she has what kind of color should she have on her dress? Something soft. Let's go with just a gray, a little bit darker gray. Maybe it fades down. This is a warm gray, fades down, like so. Okay. And then whatever's on the bottom, we're going to put on the top. So this band right here, close to her boobs, just go ahead and do that same kind of. Fill this in. Fun. Then let's get a blue or a darker gray to give this a little bit of a this blue will work. Give this a little bit of a shadow. Maybe that's a little too dark. We'll just go with it for right now. Let's see it. Okay, yeah, it's maybe a little bit too dark. Okay. And then I think we'll go ahead and put give her some yellow down here. Okay.
That looks awesome.
And there we go. All right. So that's pretty fun right there, right? Okay. That's a fun look right there, right? And then what we're coming up on 53. I'm going to try to get this done before an hour. So we're going to come up in here. We're going to do maybe some gray to give this some shadows. Maybe give her some gray hair. Okay, like so. Then I think what we'll do is we'll just do a, see if we can't find a bright pink. Make this a showstopper. Okay. She's just out and about in a showstopper. Okay. Leave a little bit of white for the reflection. Okay. So there we go. We got that. Now we'll have to take a little bit of a lighter pink and fill in a little bit in these areas right here. Okay, get a little bit of depth. You can see. Okay. Now, what colored boot should she have? Well, we could go probably with a blue or a comp. I think a blue would be best. Have them pop out there like that. Let me get it up a little bit. Have them pop out with a nice little blue suede boots. Okay. Maybe throw on. We could throw on a blue right there. If we didn't want to do that, because we don't want to draw too much attention, we can just get a gray. Put a gray right there. That's what we'll do. Okay. And also maybe give a little bit of the gray to the shadow area. Right there. Now what we might do too is add a little bit of a green to her. Maybe she's wearing emeralds. There we go. Maybe she's got to have an emerald. There we go. Okay. So we got her like that, having a good time right there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and come back in here with that pink. Okay. The happy-go-lucky girl with her pink. Okay. She's all having a good time. All right. Got a pink outfit. Maybe she has baby doll blue lapels, like so. Then maybe her belt also baby doll blue. Okay, that looks pretty nice. And then we would say maybe her shoes are baby doll blue, but that might be too matchy. Let's go with it. Let's go with a little bit of a tangerine. Tangerine, perhaps, for her purse. And for her shoes, we'll give her purse a two-tone tangerine. We'll have a bright one on top, so it looks real nice. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll give her a darker blue or a gray, perhaps, for the hat. Bottom of the hat, brim right here. Okay. And she's all happy. Okay. Now perhaps we'll do a two-tone type green for the background to kind of pop these women out. Now you can see where how nicely that comes through, where that marker was kind of faded a little bit. You can see that. It's pretty nice. Okay, got that right there. Then we got some of that over here. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a darker green. Do I have a darker green? Yeah, a little darker green. Right here, and just kind of do something like this. Remember, these are all just abstracts. You're not trying to really draw trees or grass or anything like that. You're just trying to put the abstract together and give the proper attention and the focal point to where it should go. Now, like, look at that. Like, they're all popping out. Maybe they're having a conversation about where they're going to get a cocktail later. And that's kind of how you build a story. You want to build a story in everything that you do. Like, what she's all excited. She's the bubbly one, and she's probably new money, and she's old money. She's like, well, I don't want to go there. I want to go to the old-timey bar or whatever. Okay? So that's what she's doing, all right? Now we got this lady right here. I think she's got this blue action. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and go like that. Then we'll come back in here with a heavier blue. I don't know how heavy this blue is going to be. It's probably going to be pretty heavy. All right. Accent those folds. Maybe it's a little bit sheer. But of course, these decisions you should probably make beforehand. But you know, if you're just going to explore and have a good time and figure it out as you go, I mean, that's perfectly allowable too. So I really like this look. I think I know where this look is going already. You know, you'll see when add a little bit of a depth. That blue might be a little bit too heavy. Oh, and here's what I want. I want this like nice little. Just how dark is that's too dark. I want a little bit of a. We'll go with this one. It's a little bit of a complement, maybe a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And I'm just highlighting where I think that the middle tones, shadow kind of thing would fall on this dress. I'm guessing based upon my years of experience and drawing people. Okay. So then this dress is going to be all about what? What's this dress going to be all about? This dress is going to be all about the shoes. Okay? It's going to be all about the shoes. We're going to light those shoes up right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a much brighter. Maybe those not the right color. It's too bright. So that happens sometimes, right? So we'll take this color. Yeah, there we go. That's better. To help pop these shoes out. See how she looks like a little bit like she's on the red carpet, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Maybe she's at a you know, red carpet event. Maybe she's Hollywood. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these lights back here. The purple. A nice purple. Let's carve her hair out. So maybe she's at a fashion or a red carpet event. And she's like, what are you wearing? Oh my God, what are you wearing? I'm wearing this. What are you wearing? Okay, and we'll leave her hair white because maybe she dyed her hair white. You know, maybe she had a platinum look going on right here. Okay. Now we'll come up here and we'll finish this guy last. We'll go ahead and we'll make him. We'll give him a bold tie. Okay. Give him a bold tie, and maybe it goes up here like this. Can you see that? Okay. Let me put yours over here. Like that. Okay. He's got a bold tie. Now let me go ahead and blast some of this in here. He's got a darker jacket. Darker blue jacket, right? Okay. I'm trying to wipe that off because I'm watercolor, but can't do that. Got to protect those lapels or whatever you call those things. Alright, so he's up there like that. Okay. We'll give him a little bit of the same action going on in his pants, you know, because he's not trying to get the attention. He's trying to keep the attention on his look. See what I mean, people? Trying to keep the attention on his look. We come in here and add some shadows, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that up there like that. Now what I'll probably do is I'll probably get me some brighter yellow or something. I'll give him a crown kind of thing going on here with his hair. Let's go ahead and get this going. There we go. Okay, and it can be as left as rough as that. See, it can be just left as rough as that. All right, that's the designer. Then you got the starlet on the red carpet. Then you got the two new money and old money going shopping. Then you got I don't know, maybe she's in a music video or maybe she's a fashion model. Then you got the working girl talking to the leisure girl. You know, maybe they're at a happy hour somewhere having a good time. But check that out, okay? That's how you do it right there. It's as easy as that, really. Okay, it's pretty simple. All right, we're coming right up on an hour, so I'm gonna switch back to camera one. All right, and so we just went ahead and knocked out a whole page of ideas, you know, and we practiced our figures, we practiced our color palette, we practiced a lot of stuff right here. We practiced our fashion knowledge, we practiced a lot, okay? And so that's kind of how you do that. You just go ahead and you perhaps you know, if you don't already have the ideas in your mind, you go ahead and you go to Chanel, or you go to Tommy Hilfiger, or whoever that you like. You start with the fashion you like first, the fashion you're attracted to. And you go ahead and you get one of their catalogs, or you go on their website, you get the looks, and you just start banging them out. You know, you just put them down, you abstract them, you have fun doing it, and you put like maybe an hour, maybe a half hour into it, and you have fun doing it. And then what happens is you come away with a fun page, right? Now I guarantee you, if I pop this open in front of anybody, they're gonna sit there for at least 15 minutes trying to figure out what's going on. What's that about? What is this about? What's going on? What are they doing? What's going on in here? And that's what you want. You want people, you want to attract people's attention. You want to get them excited. You want to balance the balls that you're juggling, the proportion, the shape, the location, along with the color, along with the abstraction of the shapes, along with, you know, putting it all together so it makes a, I like to call it a fidelity, a strong balance of all these different theories or disciplines. And when you do it, it harmonizes and creates this fidelity or this resonance that makes an emotion within inside of people. So that's what I want you to do. So have a good time, do that. When we get out of the mechanics of it, we're almost there. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start to explore the fashion and different fashion elements, and we're gonna have a good time doing that. So kick some ass today, get out there, come on, let's go.